Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're tackling, well, a really profound topic. The 1,000-year kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal here is to explore this prophesied time of peace, this restoration the ancient sources talk about, and crucially how it connects back to humanity's, let's say, lost role or authority.
Right. And it's quite something to imagine, isn't it? A world without violence, animals living peacefully side by side, the earth itself just flourishing under divine light.
It sounds utopian.
It does, but the source is presented as a future reality, not just a nice idea.
Yeah.
The scale of the transformation they describe is, frankly, staggering.
Okay, let's unpack that. It sounds like it's known by a few different names in the text.
Yeah, quite a few, actually.
Sure.
You see it called the seventh day, the ultimate Sabbath, the Jubilee, sometimes new heavens and new earth, even paradise. Lots of labels for this specific era.
So how does such a monumental period actually begin? What triggers it?
Well, the book of Revelation, for instance, is pretty key here. It points to two main things happening first. One, the completion of a number of what it calls martyr witnesses, people whose faith literally cost them everything. And two, Satan being bound, taken out of the picture for 1,000 years.
Wow. Okay, so a real foundational shift, a reset.
Exactly, a reset, and then comes this period of harmony.
And what's life like during this kingdom? The descriptions sound incredible.
They really are. Isaiah, for example, gives these vivid pictures. The wolf dwelling with the lamb, the lion eating straw like an ox. It speaks to a fundamental change in nature itself.
No more violence, even in the animal kingdom.
Right. And beyond that, the promise is an end to human suffering. No more tears, no death, no sorrow. That's a huge claim.
Huge. So it's not just peace, it's like a whole new kind of existence.
That seems to be the idea. The sources talk about a new heavens and a new earth, bathed in this divine light, not even needing the sun or moon in the same way.
And there's something about a river.
Yes, a river of life flowing from the divine throne. It nourishes these trees that bear fruit every single month, and their leaves are for the healing of the nations. It's an image of constant provision and restoration.
Healing, abundance. It sounds like paradise regained, truly. What about people's lives? Day to day.
Longevity is a big theme. People living incredibly long lives again. Building houses and actually living in them, planting vineyards and enjoying the fruit. No more futility or loss in their work.
That sounds amazing. And there's the central place, a capital.
Correct. New Jerusalem.
Yeah.
Described as descending from heaven. But what's fascinating is what isn't there.
Oh, what's missing?
A physical temple building. The sources say the Lord God Almighty and the Lamb are its temple. It suggests this incredibly direct, unmediated presence.
Wow. Okay, so who's actually in charge? Who governs this kingdom?
That's where it gets really interesting. It talks about king priests.
King priests.
Yes, specifically identifying them with those martyr witnesses we mentioned, those who overcame. They reign with Christ from New Jerusalem.
So this is that restored authority you mentioned.
Precisely. It's presented as humanity, through these representatives, regaining that delegated authority over creation, the role originally intended but lost. They're described as having spiritual bodies, their faithfulness proven.
And what about everyone else? People born during this 1,000 years.
That's an important point. They live under these ideal conditions, but their own faith, their own commitment is still tested at the very end of the 1,000 years. Allegiance still matters.
Right. And this connects to the symbolism of the Sabbath, doesn't it?
Absolutely. The Sabbath is presented as this profound symbol, a foreshadowing of this 1,000-year rest, this time of setting things right, which includes judgment against evil.
And the sources warn about attempts to undermine that.
They do. Daniel, for example, speaks of a power trying to change times and laws. Revelation describes pressure, perhaps economic, like not being able to buy or sell, related to a counterfeit system of worship, a fake Sabbath, if you will.
To force allegiance away from the true source of authority.
Exactly. It frames standing for the true Sabbath, the true rest, as a critical act of faith, potentially with serious consequences. It's about who you ultimately worship and obey.
So this incredible millennium happens, then what? It's not the absolute end.
Not quite the final step. After the 1,000 years, Satan is released for a short time. It's described as a final test for the nations, for those born during the kingdom.
A final test.
Which then leads into what the sources call the white throne judgment. This seems to be the ultimate purification of everything. All elements tied to sin, death, rebellion are removed completely.
And then?
Then the perfected kingdom, creation fully restored and purified, is presented by the Son back to the Father. It's the grand culmination.
So this 1,000-year kingdom is, in a sense, both a process and a reward. An inheritance.
That's a good way to put it. An inheritance for those who demonstrate that overcoming faith, that willingness to sacrifice. It's the restoration of that authority lost by the first Adam, regained through the work of the last Adam, Christ.
Which really leaves us and you listening with something to think about.
Mm-hmm. What does this understanding, this promise of ultimate rest and restored purpose mean for you personally right now? How might it shape your choices, especially when you feel pressure to compromise on what you hold true?
A powerful connection, the sources suggest, between our commitment today and inheriting that future glory. Something profound to consider.